Oh wow, this roar is so satisfying.
Okay, let's get airborne. The weather is not looking that great around Bucharest, so we'll keep the separator on for a little longer. Also, pay attention to any ice buildup. Let's not forget, I want you to take off at a maximum of 92.4% torque. That keeps the engine happy while it gives us quite the reserve in any emergency situation, if needed. Rotation. As this aircraft only has one engine, there is no V1 speed. Single-engine aircraft have very simple takeoff performance calculation. V1 is also VR, so you cannot customize V1 and the accelerate stop distance, as there is no point in getting airborne on no engine. If the engine fails, you apply maximum braking and hope you stop on the runway. If you got airborne and the engine fails, get onto a flat surface. We're above 400 feet AGL, so the autopilot can come on. Don't forget about the yaw damper. This system dampens out the small yaw inertial momenta that will make you and your passengers throw up. As you can see, the ball is not centered. Because of the huge torque of the prop, there is a yaw moment change in the airframe with every movement of the throttle lever. The autopilot will not trim the rudder, so you'll have to, almost constantly. That's why the TBM comes with an electrical rudder trimmer on the yoke. Use the down-up rocker on the autopilot panel to change reference indicated airspeed for the climb. Bear in mind that pressing down will decrease airspeed, so it will increase pitch. I know that the best climb speed is 123 indicated, but with all that power, the nose will get so high that will impair visibility. That is why it's a better idea to climb the TBM at 145, indicated, or even faster.
November 11 Echo Mike Alpha.
The inertial separator is practically paying for itself now.
Good idea to change the ETM to the density altitude page so that we know when we can go to the 850 mode. As long as you're meddling with the environmental system, let's go deeper into the bleed air system of the PT6A-66D. There are 3 bleed valves on the -66D's compressor section. 2 of them are after the 3rd axial compressor stage and 1 is after the centrifugal compressor, the last compression stage of the engine. The 2 valves at the axial compressor level are color P2.5 low pressure and P2.5 high pressure. The low pressure P2.5 is a strictly anti-surge protection for engine start. It's opened until the engine spools up to a level where the axial compressor becomes efficient enough to process all the air that's coming through the intake. The high pressure P2.5 and the P3 valves are both for environmental air. The bleed air switch has 2 positions out of off, auto and high. Auto chooses what valve will provide environmental air at low torque, descent or idling on the ground. The system uses P3 because it needs all the pressure the engine can muster for pressurization and conditioning. At high torque, P2.5 is enough to power environmentals on its own as the engine is producing quite a lot of pressure even before the last compressor stage. As you will see, as you climb, auto will keep using P2.5 pressure, which will not suffice at high altitudes. That is where you'll need to use the high setting, as it will directly open the P3 valve. Oh, you've exceeded the torque limit. That's because when you close the inertial separator, there is an increase in torque and decrease in temperature as the engine is getting more and more air. That's going in the log.
November 11 Echo Mike Alpha. Contact Bucharest Center 118.175. Contact Bucharest Center 118.175. November 11 Echo Mike Alpha. TAROM 382, descent to flight level 060. Descent to flight level 060, TAROM 382. Sky Travel 5 Hotel Kilo, cleared Eason for Delta arrival, runway 04. Cleared Eastern for Delta arrival, runway 04, sky travel 5 Hotel Kilo.
Bucharest Center, November 11 Echo Mike Alpha. Good afternoon. Passing flight level 137, climbing to flight level 150.
Freebird 651, cleared Veric 7 Alpha arrival, runway 0 for right.
Cleared Veric 7 Alpha arrival, runway 0 for right, Freebird 651.
November 11 Echo Mike Alpha, Bucharest Center, good afternoon, identified, climb flight level 300.
Climb flight level 300, November 11 Echo Mike Alpha.
Good afternoon. Bucharest Center, Nesna 2270, passing flight level 310, descending to flight level 340.
Nisma 2270, Bucharest Center, identified.
Good. Keep the torque at 121%. There's no point in crawling the climb. If the engine is happy, we should use as much power as possible.
Contact Bucharest Director 120.6, TAROM 6 for 4 November.
Bucharest Center, Yellowtail 961 Heavy, good afternoon, flight level 320.
Yellowtail 961 Heavy, Bucharest Center, identified. Electra 236, contact Varna Upper Radar 127.65. Contact Varna Upper Radar 127.65, Electra 236, have a good afternoon. Balkan Holidays for 24, contact Varna Upper Radar 127.65. Contact Varna Upper Radar 127.65, Balkan Holidays 424. Vietnam 32 Heavy, contact Varna Upper Radar 127.65. Contact Varna Upper Radar 127.65, Vietnam 32 Heavy.
Bucharest Center, Magic Sun 7040, flight level 360.
Magic Sun 7040, Bucharest Center, identified. Lot 135, cleared ITEC 1 Quebec arrival, runway 3 for left. Cleared ATEC 1 Quebec arrival, runway 3 for left, lot 135. TAROM 382, contact Bucharest Director 127.155. Contact Bucharest Director 127.155, TAROM 382. Cleared Kesel 2 hotel arrival. Runway 31 right. Cleared Kesel 2 hotel arrival. Runway 31 right. Wizz Air 8 November X-ray.
As you can see, we're above flight level 210 and can still provide 850 horsepower to the propeller. This is an amazing engine. This is possible because of the high reserve that the core, the gas generator, has at its disposal. For the -66D, the core can thermodynamically produce over 1825 horsepower. That is about a 1000 horsepower reserve to sustain 850 horsepower all the way up into the high atmosphere. To compare, the -35 on the Duke can produce 800 horsepower internally, while it provides a maximum of 525 to the propeller. This again means that this engine can also sustain the maximum power while climbing, but to lower altitudes than the massive -66D. And last but not least, the -114 found on the Caravan has no power reserve whatsoever. The moment you take off, the engine is losing power, and that is why that engine is made for low-altitude flying.
Ready for descent. Wizz Air 8 November X-ray. Wizz 8 November X-ray. Descend to 4,000 feet. QNH1014. Descend to 4,000 feet. QNH1014.
I'll set up the VNAV calculations. This is a short flight in the TBM. I'm setting normal cruise power. That is 95% torque at flight level 300.
See how the ECS could not keep temperature inside the cabin. You have to switch to the high setting so that P3 gets opened, which is a hotter air source. You'll see how the temperature will now get to the normal 23 Celsius quite fast. The reason the P3 valve was not opened automatically is because of the high torque the engine is producing. In auto, the system is minimizing engine power loss, so it uses P3 in low torque situations, while P2.5 is preferred for any high power regime. The temperature difference between stations P3 and P2.5 at flight level 300 is about 150 Celsius. That is why it can easily warm the cabin. The system could still pressurize the cabin as there is still 18 psi provided at P2.5 over the 10 psi set for the cabin.
Setting up the descent. We'll descent in vertical speed mode.
Descent to 11,000 feet. QNH1015. November 11 Echo Mike Alpha.
Turkish 8 Tango Victor Heavy. Contact Belgrade Control 120.425.
Center on 120.425 Turkish 8 Tango Victor Heavy.
we'll do the LNAV VNAV RNP approach for runway 35 and not the ILS-1. I love this descent without pulling back the throttle. The VNAV calculation on the GNS unit assumed the cruise ground speed. As we get into the thicker atmosphere, true airspeed goes closer to indicated 1, so to keep that high ground speed, I need to keep indicated airspeed high. If I pull on the throttle, I get below the profile as I travel less at the same descent rate. Yes, in the initial part of the descent, I get a little above the profile because I travel faster. But as I get into the lower levels, I can only do around 250 indicated, so ground speed decreases and allows me to get back on profile.
November 11 Echo Mike Alpha, cross accident or above 1,000 feet. Then descend to 6,600 feet, Q and H1015.
Cross Saxon at or above 1,000 feet. Then descend to 6,600 feet. Q and H1015. November 11 Echo Mike Alpha.
November 11 Echo Mike Alpha, descend via star to 6,600 feet, Q and H1015.
Descend via star to 6,600 feet. Q and H1015. November 11 Echo Mike Alpha.
November 11 Echo Mike Alpha, clear direct PR710, cross PR710, and or above 6,600 feet, cleared ILS approach runway 35.
Clear direct PR710. Cross PR710 at or above 6,600 feet. Cleared ILS approach runway 35. November 11 Echo Mike Alpha.
So, the approach plate requires 6,600 feet at Papa Romeo 710, then 4,300 all the way to Papa Romeo 702. At that point, the 3-degree descent path starts. I should pass Foxtrot Papa Romeo 35 at 3,500 feet, at which point I should be established on the approach. I'll use 2040 as the decision altitude, which is 250 feet above the ground.
11 Echo Mike Alpha. Contact Pristina Tower 126.55. Bye-bye.
Contact Tower 126.55. November 11 Echo Mike Alpha. Pristina Tower, November 11 Echo Mike Alpha. ILS approach runway 35.
November 11 Echo Mike Alpha. Pristina Tower. Wind variable. For knots. Runway 35 cleared to land.
Okay, I see the autopilot failed to capture the vertical profile. I'll have to intercept from above. Yeah, it captured the profile this time around. I'll use 90 as my V approach. Decision altitude. Continue.